ค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ everyone
สวัสดี
Can you hear me
สวัสดีครับท่านอาจารย์
Sadhika-chan.
สวัสดีครับ
Sawadika-chan and everyone.
Xin chào everyone.
Hello Miss Ha.
Hello,
Dạ vâng ạ.
Sarah.
Buổi phát đàm của chúng ta sẽ bắt đầu. Không biết là các đạo hữu có ai có câu hỏi muốn đưa ra không ạ? Nếu mà chưa ai có câu hỏi thì con sẽ đặt câu hỏi cho Hà Trang. Đó là về ý nghĩa của cái từ Opanayiko, một trong 6 ơn đức Pháp. Thì cũng muốn A Chan giải thích cho chúng ta ý nghĩa của cái từ này. A Chan, so I have a question on the meaning of the word Opanayiko, one of the virtues of the Dhamma. So what is the meaning of this word? Because I have seen different renderings of this word in English. And I would like to hear your comments about the meaning of the word so that we can have more understanding.
Is Opanayiko Dhamma?
Yes, it has to be. It's one of the virtues of the
Yes.
Dhamma.
How do we know about Dhamma? When we say it's Dhamma, but how do we know about Dhamma? What is Dhamma? And what is Opanayiko? Everything now is Dhamma, isn't it? Why is a Dhamma? It's a reality, it's so real. But who understand the truth of it right now? That is conditioned to arise and fall away. Is that true? Can you hear me?
Yes, it's very clear,
Yes,
Ajahn.
yes.
Okay. So we are talking about whatever is real now. Before hearing about its truth, no one knows at all that it's so true, so real. But what is it? We use the word Dhamma for everything which is real. It has its own characteristic to be known that it's there, it's real, it's now appearing. But usually no understanding of the truth of any reality at all. So it is always something or I, the word of Atta. What appears by way of nimitta, something known as it is by shape and form. It's nimitta. But the truth is that hearing about the truth, what is there does not appear as it is. Is it true? So Opanayiko is the teaching about the truth, to be known, to be realized, to let go of the wrong understanding about it as it's something or it's I. That's why even all words are so true, so real, but the way to understand the truth has to be learned about it. For example, right now, what is there is not anything. Different colors appear to be something known as shape and form about each different thing. See, it comes to be things from moment of moment is there by conditions, but it's there something or I all the time. That's why understanding clearly what is the truth of it. That's why learning to understand that if it does not arise at all, it cannot be experienced and to take it for something. That's why in truth, what is there now is real and it's conditioned to arise to be there. Like seeing is seeing, hearing is hearing, sound is sound, visible object is visible object. Is that true? beginning to understand the truth firmer and firmer, Satya Barami, and this moment of understanding will gradually get closer and closer to understand not the word about a reality, but the characteristic of that reality as we have learned. No one at all. Hardness is hard. And the reality which experience hardness is not hardness. Who knows the truth? That's why each moment of considering the nature of that which is thought to be known will get closer and closer, so very, very subtle to realize the truth. And that is the meaning of Opanayiko. It's there, no understanding, and beginning to hear about it, to understand that it's there right now. And what is that which is there? By conditions. It arises and falls away instantly, but the sign, the mark of that object, still seeing is seeing, but how many seeing now? Arising and falling away. The nimitta, the arising and falling away, condition to understand seeing, that seeing cannot be anything else. It is seeing right now. And all this word of truth, condition, the development of understanding of that which is there, little by little, get closer, open as you go to the truth of that which is now arising and falling away. No matter what it is translated, but the truth is now understanding little by little about hardness is there at moment when it appears, and the reality which experiences hardness is there. When it's there, experience hardness. Is that true? Can it be known little by little, one by one? Otherwise, if it's not just one by one at a time, nothing can be learned at all, because they are all complex, mixed together, arise together, fall away together, very, very rapidly. So now all this word of truth, listened carefully, conditioned moment of understanding that seeing is seeing, only seeing, but many moments of seeing can be known, that it now seeing. Get closer and closer to understand what is meant by the Ariya Satya-Dhamma. Is this Opanayiko, Swakato, or the teachings of the Buddha about the truth? Swakato Bhagavata Bhagavata Dhammo. Santitiko, it can be known now, it appears. Santitiko Akaliko. Any moment there can be the understanding of the truth when there are proper conditions for such moment of such level of understanding. All are opanayiko, swakato, pakratammo, santitiko, akaliko, opanayiko, pachatang, only known by oneself.
Ehipassiko.
Ehipasiko, only that one can realize it. The moment of understanding, pachatang, not the other's understanding, but the one who developed careful considering, understanding little by little the way it is to realize the truth. Pacchatta, not by the other, but by hearing, understanding, not the other person, only the moment of hearing and understanding. Pacchatta. So when there is understanding, we don't have to ask, is it right? Is it true? But when there is such question, it's just to develop the considering by oneself. Is it true? By oneself. To understand the truth. Not just the word taught by the other, but the moment of hearing and considering no understanding from the very beginning, but each word of truth is there, talking about that which is now appearing, whether it's true or not. Satya Barami develop on and on and on of the truth with patience and virya and other Barami, because Barami is moment of kusala. It means that the moment of akusala cannot understand the truth at all. And it takes quite a long, long time to begin to vary away the idea of self, what is there from eons and eons ago, each moment accumulated to be right now, until what is there appearing is conditioned for that moment to be there, to understand the truth. Only, not all of them in samsara, but only the moment, proper moment for what has been accumulated to condition that moment to be. Hearing, considering, understanding, all depend on conditions. Is it true? Satya Barami, not the others. Yes, it's true, it's true, it's true. Telling the other that it's true. But what about the one who heard that? Could there be any understanding that it's so true? It cannot be the other way at all. It's gone because it cannot arise together. Seeing is a moment, hearing is another moment by different conditions. Is it true? One's own Satya Parami. Otherwise, what is meant by opanayiko? See is now. Who knows? Without gradual moment, from moment to moment, developing the wise attention to the true nature of that.
So when we talk about the understanding getting closer and closer to the reality or closer and closer to the truth, this is opanayiko that is being referred to. The more understanding, the closer it is to the actual realities. And without getting closer to realities, no way for the path to develop. And when, for example, if you look in the dictionary and it talks about opanayiko as near to the object, this is the same meaning. It means close to the reality to be understood. So without opanayiko, without getting close, without understanding, getting closer and closer to seeing now, hearing now, the reality to be understood now, no way to reach the goal, no path at all. So that's why, along with Sanditiko, Nehipasiko, and Kaliko, it's one of the epithets, one of the ways to express the teaching, Pachatang. By oneself, of course, there is no self, but what it just means is it cannot be the Buddha's understanding or anyone else's understanding. It can only be the understanding here and now that develops to understand the truth, each for their own.
So, so the opanayiko is the Dhamma that leads closer to the truth.
It refers to how the understanding gets closer and closer to the truth that isn't known otherwise, that cannot be known without the development of understanding. So it is the nature of understanding to get close to the truth, which is here and now, which is so close. Seeing is so close. Hearing is so close. But without understanding, nothing is known about the seeing now, the hearing now.
But because it talks about the virtue or the quality, the Dhamma, the way I understand the Dhamma helps one or keep one close to the truth that otherwise cannot be known.
So the Dhamma, the truth, is so very close, but without understanding, it's not known that it is so close. For example, someone may think they have to go to a center or another country or go to find a different reality like jhana, for example. But the truth, the reality is right here and now, seeing now, hearing now, pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling here and now. So the teaching is so very, very close for understanding to realize at this very moment, a kaliko at any moment at all, not just in the forest, not in the center, but at any moment right now. The teaching is very close. The truth is very close. And sanditiko, it can be known. It's possible right now for understanding to know the truth, to develop and understand what is close, what is here and now. No need to wait for another time, another occasion, another situation, because the Dhamma is always now close at hand.
I think these epithets, Tambak, are aspects of the Dhamma, aspects of understanding that become apparent as understanding is developed. How should they be known? Just in a descriptive way as best we can at this stage of development of understanding. The explanation in the Visuddhimagga about opanayiko is along the lines of worth inducing or worth developing. It says that the four paths and four fruitions are worth inducing, that is, arousing in one's own mind by means of development. Thus, it is onward leading, which is the translation used here for opanayika. And it goes on to say the meaning is, it goes on to mention nibbana also. It says the unformed Dhamma is worth inducing by one's own mind to become the mind's object. Thus, it is onward leading too. The meaning is that it is worth treating as one's shelter by realizing it. So getting back to your comment about the translation of opanayika, actually, there's no translation that really explains what the sense is here. One has to consider the way it is explained and to get some sense of the meaning. So it's onward leading in the sense that as one, I think this is what Ajahn has been explaining also, as one comes to understand the Dhamma, its worth, its merit, its value becomes more apparent, so one wants to continue further. It's onward leading in that sense. The more one gets to know it, the more one appreciates that knowing it more will be valuable also.
Thank you, John, Sarah. Thank you, Ajahn. Very helpful to listen to your explanations about these virtues of the Dhamma. And yeah, I think it's really important to keep in mind that those words are very deep and not just one simple term can already convey on the deep meaning that it has.
Some people think that by reciting these epithets, they are developing kusala, but that's not the case at all, because the meaning is so difficult to ascertain that even just by peeling off these various epithets, one's not able to even reflect for a moment on their true meaning.
So actually, when understanding is developed, and at the moment of understanding that one comes to know the virtues of the Dhamma, especially at the moment of enlightenment, right?
I think there can be moments of appreciating one or other quality of the Dhamma at different times. There's no one moment when one appreciates all these qualities together, and the same for the epithets of the Buddha and the Sangha. But there are moments in one's reflection on the Dhamma when one appreciates the compassion of the Buddha, other moments when one appreciates his wisdom, and then with the Dhamma, similarly, some moments one appreciates that it's here and now, and other moments that's akalika, and other moments when one appreciates that it is the only refuge that there can possibly be in life. So that's another aspect of the Dhamma, yeah. But they may occur spontaneously at times. And that's it. It's like everything else. It pops up by conditions, but it's not something that has to be learned. We learn about these epithets and their description because it can open our eyes to things we hadn't considered before. But in terms of the realization, then that is something that will occur naturally, just like any other moment of awareness and understanding.
And I think they just point to what we've come to appreciate through developing understanding. And the more understanding develops, the more apparent they are, that it can only be this moment that there is understanding, and what is to be understood is right here and now, not somewhere else at all, and no one else can do it for us. It's useless to pray to the Buddha or a teacher or ask anyone else to help develop the path for us, because the understanding has to develop for each one. And yes, and it points to what is taught, even though it's so deep and subtle. The truth can be known right now. Seeing can be known right now. It has a characteristic. It is the world at this moment. There can be understanding of seeing right now, nothing else there at the moment of seeing. So it's really pointing to what is to be known now, not another time. It's not about understanding what kind of chitta there was when we were in tears yesterday or when we were in the temple making an offering, but now, here and now, is the world to be known, to be understood. And it's wonderful as a treasure because, okay, never mind what happened yesterday or 2 minutes ago or what hasn't come. here and now is always where the truth is. All anatta.
About the term akaliko, what I have heard about this term before is that it refers to the fact that between the moment of makachita and the moment of palachita, there's no gap in between. It's the result that that comes right after the call. But just now from Achan and what you said, akaliko also means any truth any object can be understood at this very moment. No fleeting or no other moment. So I would like to hear more at this point.
I think it means timeless, like any time at all. So what is true now is true at any time, to be known any time at all. What the Buddha taught is just the same truth now, to be understood at this moment, just as at that moment. But Ajahn may add more.
Usually, people think akaliko means that as soon as Makkhajita has fallen away, the Palajita follow instantly. No need to wait for the proper time as the other Vipaka. But it's just only that as the Makha falls away, it's followed by Palajita and the process see. But that is not just the one only meaning, only one meaning. But there are other meaning too in the sutta. If you read, you would find the akaliko that it can be any moment, any time, not selected moment at all. Because of all dhammas are anatta. See, it has to conform with the truth of all kinds of reality. Do we have to wait to talk about it, to consider it, to begin to consider carefully? Akale, akaliko, no set time at all, any time, by conditions, when there are proper conditions, ready condition for whatever arises, it has to arise. No one can stop the conditions for its arising at all. Even the moment of Makkah and Pala, see. So it does not the moment of Makkah and Pala, but any moment. Is it true? Any moment when conditions are ready for whatever arises, it has to arise. No one can stop it right now. It can be a moment of enlightenment when time comes, when the conditions are ready for each level of understanding. That shows more confidence of anatta. It's there, no thought about it. But even right now, whatever arises, no thought about it before, that it is to arise after this moment or that moment. That's all. That can be the moment of having firm confidence of anatta on and on and on. And when it's there appearing, it is so firm about the anatta-ness more and more and more until all and each moment is anatta by conditions, unknown conditions for whatever arises now to experience what kind of object and what citta is there and cetasika is there, what level. So is it now open, gradually closer to what? To the truth, the ultimate truth that we have heard and considered, and considered that is so true, until it appears to right understanding, higher and higher stage, with patience, very great patience, to understand the truth when it is clear to be vipassana jnana, not as now at all. So many things around, but at that moment, only one reality, just only one appearing at a time. No one there, only the characteristic of that which is there known. Begin to see it cannot be anything or anyone at all. No one can do anything because it's there, shows up as arising and falling away, arising and falling away. And that is not enough to open at ego, get closer and closer and closer to each level of understanding, each stage of pariyati, patipati, and pativeda. Is there other way? Right understanding of the truth, samadhi, get closer and closer to the truth of what is there now appearing by conditions.
Imagine
Yeah,
between ahipatico is come and see, and pachatam is to be directly realized by the wise. What is the main difference between these two qualities?
that's why we just talk about one word at a time to understand what the meaning of it, the level of understanding. Come to see, where are you now? On the street, in the market, swimming, talking. Come to see. It's there, but the idea of many things around take one's away to such thought all the time. So come to see. It does mean that you stop to do anything, but know what is there, which is real. Come to see the truth. Come to the truth to understand it. To come to what is there to understand it. See what? What is there now? Come to see what? What is there now? Otherwise, even it's there, no one come to see it. Just think about different things, idea, and what to do. So now, come to see. It's there now. Come, please come. Don't go away. What is there? A reality? It's so close, but no awareness. So when it's there, no awareness, it's not close. So where do you come to see? Dwelling in many things pleasantly. What is that? Come to see that, not take it away from the truth as some things, swimming, driving, singing. daily life covered up by not come to see what is there. Do we have to come to someone somewhere? Or just is there now? Come.
From the world of atta to the world of anatta.
That's why when there is the understanding of the truth, there can be understanding of what is there as it is. Little by little, right understanding is so right. It understands how much understanding, how less of ignorance. Are we coming now to whatever is there to be known, listening, considering, not the other moment, but right now it's there. So even the word come to see is not I, but it's the understanding. There's so very precious moment, understanding what is there as it's not anything at all.
And Pachatang Ajahn.
You cannot give your own understanding to anyone at all. It has to be yours, it has to be theirs. No exchange.
Individually or separately, one by one, not shared by another, not given by the Buddha or Ajahn. It has to be developed one by one.
So, is that discouraged?
Can you say again, Ajahn?
Is there any discourage to study?
No.
It's not you, but it's a reality. No matter what is said, it's a reality. Different levels of understanding of what is there. It's real. The moment of discourage, is it a reality? See, begin to understand what is there. Shouldn't be neglected at all. Anything, and it has to be everything known in daily life, naturally, by anatomists as well. Otherwise, it's still I, legs there, I will do, or now I will read, and so on, and I'll try, oh, now it's time to be aware, and so on. The I is covered up until right understanding is sharper and sharper and sharper, enough to know the moment when it's by conditions, so anatta, it's there, showing up, it's there by anatomist. It's not prepared, it's not thought about, so sudden, by conditions, unexpectedly. That is the clear understanding, more understanding, keen understanding of anatta opens on and on and on until all dhammas are anatta any moment, any time. And that is not enough at all because of the accumulation of all kinds of akusala, eons and eons, thousand eons, hundred eons, eons of eons, so long. So how can it be eradicated, never to arise again at all in samsara? That's the way Panya developed to the degree that it can understand what is there as it is in life, daily life, little by little, because they are all dhammas. So they are all anatta. Even now, see, come to see, even now. And without a little more understanding of the truth, heard, considered, on and on and on, how can right understanding become keener and keener and keener? So natural. If it's not as natural, how can there be the understanding of paccaya, conditions for whatever arises now? And that is confidence of the truth of Dhamma. It's there by conditions already. That's why Buddha emphasizes understand that which has arisen, means now. Come to see that which has risen right now. Not to see other things like people and things, but come to see the truth.
Dạ, cho con xin hỏi đạo hữu trong pháp đàn có ai có muốn câu hỏi nào về chủ đề này hay là chủ đề khác không ạ? Dạ, mời chị Xuân Lan ạ.
Dạ, kính thưa cha, kính thưa ông bà Chanchara, con xin hỏi về tâm sở tư ạ.
Dạ.
Con muốn hỏi về nghiệp, vì con không biết là cái mối quan hệ như thế nào giữa nghiệp quá khứ với lại lộ cận tử và thức tái tục ạ. Xin Achan và ông bà Chanchara có thể giải thích cho con hiểu ạ. Cảm ơn ạ.
Ms. Xuân Lan has a question regarding karma that she knows, which is the Chetana Chetasika. So she would like to know the relationship between the past karma and the last Chavana Chittas in one's life and the Patisandhi Chitta of the next life. What are the relationships between them?
Well, we know that any past karma, any past intention, any past deed can be the condition for different kinds of patisandhi, like we know the terrible deeds that Devadatta performed was the condition for rebirth in the lowest hell realm. So the karma in the past accumulates and it conditions the last jhana citas to bring the result. So the object of the last jhana citas is the same as the object of the patisandhi citta that follows. So it can be any karma in the past that conditions those citas to experience that object, which will be the object of the result of the karma at the moment of birth. But it's a very deep topic. Perhaps Ajahn may like to add more.
Yes, then now karma. See, otherwise we just talk about that which is not known now. When there's no understanding of the truth of each reality as not anyone at all, it begins to develop the moment of letting go of the clinging and ignorance to that. And that's the point. So listening to the teaching doesn't mean that it's only at moment of reading or hearing, but any moment of thinking, considering, more and more about what has been heard, about what is the reality right now, which has been heard before, and so on. That's why any moment of understanding at any level is conditioned to understand unexpectedly what is there. When time comes, unknown, when will it be? That's why the question is about what? See, what is the question about? Kamma,
She
right?
would like to
Right.
understand the relationship between the past karma and the last Javana chitas in one's life and the Patisandhi chitta of the next life.
It seems like there is enough understanding, but in truth, just understand one reality, present, past, condition, future, and so on. It has to be more understanding about it, not just take the word, the story of it, but understand each word clearer and clearer. For example, Kamma, what is it? It's time to talk about it little by little to be the answer for that question. To understand from the very beginning, so it can be any moment of understand what is there. For example, seeing is vipaka, birth is vipaka, bhavanka is vipaka, and we think about karma. What is it? Is it someone? Not at all. So what is it? To understand the difference between the karma, which is sahachata karma, and the karma, which is nanakni karma. See, not just karma. Otherwise, they cannot be letting go of the idea of I now understand, I now don't understand, I now would like to understand this, and so on. But in order to let go, the very, very subtle atta and ignorance, it has to be clear understanding of what is talked about from the very beginning to the end to is the karma now or what kind of karma, and can this moment be conditioned for patisantichitta, and at moment of patisantichitta, what is it object just arise and experience an object. But what object is there? If there is no clear understanding from the very beginning, how can there be the understanding of the moment of death? Experience what object? And before the moment of death, what Chitta experience the object? See, it's so subtle. It's not just think about it, know about it by word, in words only, but to understand the way each Cetasika performs its function, different from other Cetasikas. So when we talk about karma, first of all, is it real? What kind of reality? Is it rupa or nama, kusala or akusala, or vipaka or kiriya? Just one word we can talk about to have firm confidence of the truth. And that moment of understanding is the moment of wearing away ignorance and attachment gradually. That's why each level of understanding has to be considered in order to understand the difference between each level of understanding. So now, before talking about the moment of death and the moment before death and moment of patisanti, followed the Juticita, say what is there as the object. But we have to understand karma first. What is it? So it can be understood karma in daily life, because without understanding reality in daily life, it is I again, because no understanding of what is there in daily life. So now, what is karma, so that we can continue on to the moment of death and moment of birth. But now, see, if there's no understanding of karma, what moment can it be understood?
Chị
So
Xuân Lan có thể trả lời câu hỏi của Achan được không ạ? Achan đang muốn hỏi về karma. Nhưng chị chưa mở mic ạ.
Dạ thưa Achan, karma là nghiệp nó là hành động thiện và bất thiện chúng ta đã tạo ra trong hiện tại và quá khứ
She said that karma is the kusala or akusala deeds that have been performed in the past or now.
what conditions such deeds?
Dạ thưa Achan, những gì con được học thì những cái tích lũy từ quá khứ sẽ làm duyên cho việc thiện, cho nghiệp thiện và nghiệp bất thiện
From what I have learned, the past accumulations of kusala and akusala condition the different deeds.
But what is the reality which condition the deeds to be done?
Tức là thực tại mà làm duyên cho các hành động thiện hay bất thiện đó là thực tại nào?
Only one reality should be studied carefully, because no understanding of it before, and it's so very subtle. Each one has to be known to let go the idea of self, the idea of I, the idea of atta. That is the point of the teachings, understanding the truth. No I, no atta, no things at all. Only a moment of arising, experiencing what is there, and then gone. All of them never arise again. What arises afterward, is not that which has fallen away. Little by little, to have clear understanding of Dhamma. Whatever is there is Dhamma, but it's not known. So it's time to understand clearly what is there. If one thinks about the word in the book, it's time to be forgotten, no more understanding, because it's only the remembering of the word. But the word just point to the reality which is the only one at a time, one by one. Because now, when there's no understanding, they are all mixed up, very complex. It cannot be known what is what at all. When there's no careful considering to understand firmer and firmer of a reality which can be moment of wearing away little by little of ignorance and attachment and all kinds of akusala and then all kinds of kusala. No more condition to be born again. Or do you just want to know the story of it? How many karmas are there? What is the object before death? Or what is the object of the birth moment and so on? No understanding of the nature of that, which is now there too. It's there now. See? Not the moment before death or the moment of Patisanti, birth. Because now it's not that moment. Can there be the understanding of karma right now, little by little, to have clear understanding of the reality which is there, not the other reality, not mixed up with the other reality? It's time to talk about reality, different ones, because in order to understand any reality so well, it has to be understanding one characteristic of a reality. Now and a little more and a little more. That's the way, the only way to let go of the idea of self or the word of atta, to be the word of anatta, see, from what has been taken for self, the right understanding of whatever is there, understanding that it cannot be anything because it's conditioned to arise and gone instantly. So how can there be any atta, something or someone? Or should we follow the book? How many jittas and what jitta arises before death and what is that death moment, what kind of group of object and so on. It's only the story. But the nature of that which is now there, it depends on whether there are any words about that which hasn't been showed up yet. But it's there and it's real. Any moment is there karma.
Dạ không ạ, no ạ Chan. Những khoảnh khắc
Yes,
của tâm quả thì không có nghiệp ạ.
At the moment of vipaka, there's no karma.
Really?
but Sunlan, at each moment, Chaitana is karma pachya, sahajata karma pachya. So at a moment of seeing now, which is vipaka, the Chaitana accompanies it, conditions it, and the other Chaitasikas by sahajata karma pachya. And it's just the same as at the last moments before death. Karma conditions the chitta and Chaitasikas by Sahajata Karma Pachya as well. So there is Karma Pachya at every moment in life. Two kinds of Karma Pachya, the Sahajata Karma Pachya at every moment in life, when the Chaitana arises and coordinates the Chitta and Chaitasikas, it conditions them by Sahajata Karma Pachya. And the other kind of Karma Pachya that you were referring to is only at moments of Kusala and Akusala, when they are of such a degree that they can bring a result later. Nana Kanika Karma Pachya. So two kinds of Karma Pachya. So when Ajahn asks, is there karma now? Is there Karma Pachya now? Yes, at every moment. And that's why even at the last moment of life, no matter what those moments are, there's always Karma Pachya, every moment.
Thưa cô, như vậy thì trong tâm quả cũng là đồng sanh nghiệp duyên, như vậy cũng gọi nó là nghiệp luôn, hay nói là chỉ là đồng sanh duyên thôi ạ?
So at the moment of vipaka, because Chaitanya arises with every chitta, so at that moment is there the Sahajata karma, or
Yes.
is the Sahajata Pachaya only?
It is the one kind of Pachya, one kind of condition. The Chaitana is the Pachya, so by way of Sahajata Karma Pachya, it is the Pachya, and the other Chaitasikas and the Chitta at that moment are the Pachayopana. They are the Dhammas conditioned by that Sahajata Karma Pachya, the Chaitana rising together at that very moment, at every moment in life. So that's why if we understand a little more about what karma is now, what karma pachya is now, then it becomes a little easier to understand what karma pachya is at other moments, like before death and so on. So it has to begin with understanding what is meant by Sahajata Karma Pachya at this moment. So the Chaitana is the Pachya, and the Chaitasikas and Chitta that arise with it are the Pachyupana by way of Sahajata Karma Pachya. Even at moments of vipaka, like seeing or hearing now.
Yeah.
Is it a little bit clearer now, Xuân Lan?
Dạ, vâng, con đã hiểu hơn rồi ạ. Thưa cô, vì sao người ta gọi một cái từ khác để chỉ Chaitanya là hành Sankara?
She thinks that the Chaitanya, there's another way to call Chaitanya, which is Sankara. I don't know about this, but this was she asked. Your microphone, Sarah.
All conditioned dhammas are Sankara dhammas. In addition, when we're talking about the khandas, Sankara khanda refers to Chaitana and the other Chaitasikas, which are not Sanya and Vedana. So different meanings of Sankara. And when we're talking about Paticca Samuppada, Sankara refers to the past karma that brings result in this life by way of birth and other vipaka chittas that follow. So it depends on the context, what we're referring to.
Yeah, yeah. Thưa cô, con có thêm câu hỏi ạ. Con thấy là Chaitanya nó là một cái tâm sở rất là quan trọng, nó hầu như là chi phối hết tất cả các tâm. Nó vừa làm chức năng là nghiệp, vừa làm chức năng là điều phối các hoạt động của các tâm sở. Vậy vì lý do gì mà Chaitanya không được xếp là một uẩn ạ? Và vì sao mà Chaitanya cũng không được xếp là một Indriya, một căn quyền ạ?
She said that according to her understanding, Chaitanya is a very important Cetasika. It has influences on all of the Chittas. So why is it not a separate Khanda? And why is not an Indriya?
And why isn't it a path factor if it's so important? It's not a path factor either. So what is it we find so important that we cling to most in life? Is it Chaitanya or is it Vedana, having pleasant feeling when seeing, hearing, tasting, looking around? And what about sanya, without marking and remembering, no idea about the sunrise or the sunset or the people in the room? So sanya and Vedana and sanya are separate khandhas, but we can say all chaitasikas that arise at each moment are important, but they're not path factors. Chaitanya is not a path factor. And it's not a leading faculty that, or an enlightenment factor. It's not a bojjhanga that is one of the balas, one of the powerful factors that is so essential for enlightenment. But perhaps Ajahn may add more for you about why Chaitanya isn't an Indriya and so on.
Would you like to understand Chaitanya as no one at all? Or would you like to know the story of it?
Yeah. Yeah. Con muốn biết sự thật về Chaitanya, nhưng mà con cũng cần biết những cái thứ mà con đọc qua mà con không hiểu ạ.
I need to know the truth of Chaitanya, but I also need to understand about the things that I read, but I don't get the meaning.
What's first and what's later?
Dạ, con muốn biết sự thật trước ạ.
The truth first, Ajahn.
Understand what Chaitanya is, so that there can be a little more understanding of what Chaitanya is there at any moment in life. See, is that the way to understand the truth?
Dạ.
And no understanding of it, but talk a lot about it.
Dạ.
Or begin to understand the reality which is there. No need to read the word or any term, but the nature of that is there. But we have to use the word or term to represent it. That is not the other reality, because there are so many realities, different ones in life, never arise again at all. So what about what we say, Chetana, what is it?
Dạ, Chaitanya là một thực tại ạ, kinh nghiệm ạ.
It
If
is
we,
a reality, is the reality which experiences.
if there's no word about it, never heard about it, is there any intention in life to do, to go, to walk, to eat?
Dạ, yes, Ajahn.
So it's a reality which intend to do in life and know that it's more than that, finer than that, subtler than that, which is known as I want to do something, to buy something. See, all are dhammas that we haven't heard before. Until we learn about it, each one is different, so very different. Because feeling is not the moment of it and intention to do anything, right? Feeling is not intention
Dạ,
or
yes.
the will to do anything at all. Begins to understand that even that is a reality, like Vedana feeling is a reality in life. It is conditioned to arise and it falls away instantly, no matter what, even Chetana, in a moment. That's why we learn to have clear understanding, little by little, about Chetana. As much as we can think or know it in a day is moment of intention to do something, right? At moment of getting up is that Chetana to get
Dạ,
up.
yes, Ajahn.
See, that's why I learn to understand the reality which is there. But more than that, when it's moment of seeing, see, no intention to see, but Chetana is there, perform its function, the basic function,
Dạ.
which appear in a day as different moment. So Chetana is a reality which coordinates the other reality which arise together to perform or to do its function. See, even for anything which is there is a reality which coordinate the other Cetasika because itself is to coordinate whatever is there to do something like to see or to hear. That's why no one knows what is there in a moment. Even seeing itself, there must be feeling, there must be memory, remembering, and and there must be the coordinating reality too. For whatever arises, is it can be known. Its characteristic. So whatever is there, depending on Chetana too, to go here, to buy this, to cut or to eat, all run by Vedana, by Chetana. See, is there any Chetana to go to bed, to
Dạ,
sleep?
yes, Ajahn.
Is there any Chetana to fall asleep? See,
Dạ, có. Yes, Ajahn.
it's not other Chetana like wanting to do anything. And can anyone have Chetana to sleep? See, there can be
À,
Chetana to sleep, but that person does not sleep. Even she or he has Chetana to sleep, but no sleep at all right then yet. All depends on conditions. That's why we have to understand the nature of a reality at each moment. when it can be known, like intention to do this or that, it shows up as a reality which has intention to such thing. But when it's not doing anything at all, just see, Chetana is there, performing the function, coordinate all Cetasikas, Citta which arise to perform its function. And other moment, it's the same, but it has the idea or something to do, but it has to coordinate the other reality which arises together by to perform such function because of its intention. Is that right? A little bit of understanding Chetana at any time, different degree, when it's not known but it's there coordinate, and it's the moment of when it shows up as intention to do something, but it's the same characteristic which performs that function by different degree, different quality, different conditions, but it's there any moment. Does anyone try to die? Is that Chetana to die? Different moment, different from moment of Chetana arising with moment of death. See, but it's there all the time. So begin to understand a reality which is there all the time, performing its function by different conditions to be moment of Chetana to do ill deeds or wholesome deeds. So now, is there any Chetana?
Dạ, yes, Ajahn.
When you get up, when you walk out, is there Chetana?
Dạ, có ạ. Yes, Ajahn.
When there is thinking, is there Chetana?
Dạ, có ạ. Yes, Ajahn.
At moment of birth, is there Chetana?
Dạ, có ạ. Chetana có ở mọi khoảnh khắc ạ.
At moment of birth, is there Chetana? Coordinate that which rise together to perform the function. Like what you say, the head of the student tell the other student to do, to stand up, to show respect to the teacher and so on. So now, at moment of birth, is there Chetana?
Dạ, có ạ. Yes, Ajahn.
At, at moment of death, is there Chetana?
Dạ, yes, Ajahn.
It's there performing its function all the time with any chitta, every chitta at any time is there. That's why we learn to understand how many cetasikas arise with one moment of chitta. It has to arise together at least 7 cetasikas, including cetana. So now no doubt at moment of speaking, thinking, crying, laughing, any moment is cetana. Ill deeds, ill thought, cetana is there all the time, different ones by conditions. So no doubt about a reality which we use the word cetana because now we understand what cetana is. So we can use this word. And there are two kinds. That's why another word for cetana is kamma, right? It's the one who coordinate to have will to do such and such at any moment. for other Cetasikas to perform its function. So it's there as the Kamma, the one who do, the one who coordinate whatever is there to do. So at moment of killing, is that Chetana?
Yeah, yes, Ajahn.
Can the other be Chetana to kill? Can the other Cetasika be Chetana to kill?
Dạ không ạ. No, Ajahn.
So now it's Chetana, no doubt about it, a reality which has a function, begin to understand its function. That's why no matter what, there must be Chetana. No one can say no Chetana to kill because there cannot be killing without Chetana to kill. Is that right?
Dạ, đúng mà
That's
Ajahn. Yes, Ajahn.
That's why Chetana arises with each moment. Kusala moment, akusala moment, vipaka moment, or kriya moment. No doubt about it. So we can learn a little more further. So
Yeah.
it is good or wholesome Chetana or unwholesome Chetana. To kill or to forgive, to hate or to like, all by Chetana too. But can Chetana hate or like?
Dạ, no, Ajahn.
Chetana cannot hate, right? But it's at moment
Dạ,
coordinate
vâng ạ.
the others to perform its function. Those are performs its function, and Chetana is there too. So Chetana can be kusla or akusla or vipaka or kiriya. Not any moment can arise without Chetana by different Chetanas. At moment of eating, is it Kamma? Because now we know
Dạ,
what
dạ
is
có
done
karma
by.
ạ.
Yes, Ajahn, she said.
Now we understand what is there must be Chetana there to do. So at moment of eating, is there Chetana?
Yes, she said.
Yes.
Is it Kamma? Because all kinds of Chetana, another word is Kamma. So at moment of eating, is there Kamma? Is it Kamma?
Dạ, yes ạ, Ajahn. Nó cũng là nghiệp là nó cũng tạo ra nghiệp ạ. Tại vì lúc đó cũng có tâm tham ạ.
Is it the cause?
She said that it also conditions karma because Loba is there.
Again, please.
She said that at the moment of eating, there's also karma that has been created or because Loba is there.
So at that moment, is Chetana the cause to condition the result? We learn a little more to understand more about Chetana by just considering what is there as being questioned for thought, careful thinking, considering to understand.
And I think it was a very good question that Ajahn asked earlier. Does one want to understand more about the Dhamma as anatta, or does one just want to learn the story? And it's the same for other questions like, oh, what is Opanayiko? Does one really want to understand what it means, or just get the text story correctly in mind, because if one doesn't understand what Chaitanya is now at this moment of seeing or thinking or eating or lifting one's hand, then it's always taken for my intention, my will to do, my overeating, or my speaking wrongly and bringing a result. So the main point is to understand that Chaitanya is karma and it's a Dhamma that's conditioned at every moment, not Lobha, not dosa, not anything else, just Chaitanya. So at the moment of eating, Chaitanya is there at each moment, coordinating the other Chaitasikas and the Chittas and conditioning the action to eat, to taste, and so on. Nothing to do with the Lobha. So understand it as a Dhamma that is anatta is the very main point to understand. Otherwise, it's impossible to understand anything about death or birth or Javana Chittas or anything else. So there has to be the understanding right now of what Chaitanya is, like when coughing, when speaking, when moving one's head. Chaitanya is there at each moment, performing its function or functions. Usually we get lost or carried away by the book detail or trying to work out exactly what the different pachya are or what the different chaitasikas arising are, and forget about just different dhammas conditioned in different ways now, whether one speaks kindly or harshly. Each moment, each chaitana is anatta, conditioned in different ways, many different ways, nothing to do with I at all. And for the benefit of Mr. Zhao and others, so when we even talk about pachatang, understanding by oneself or individually, we use these words, but no self, no individually. We're just talking about how the understanding that develops in one stream of consciousness is different from the understanding in another stream of consciousness, but no one there, all anatta, whatever words are used in the book.
Thank you. Thank you.
Perhaps Ajahn would just like to say a little more before we finish.
So now we have the basic idea, the truth which cannot be changed at all. So at moment of eating, it's different from moment of killing. Is that right?
Yeah, yes, Chan.
So it's not the same level of Chetana, but no matter what or when, Chetana
Yeah.
is the will to do at that moment, even the will to think to kill, and the moment of the Chetana at moment of killing. See, thinking to kill, otherwise I cannot be killing, but Chetana is every moment. That's why we learn to understand different Chetanas later, right? That which is not strong enough, but it just condition the moment of doing something, thinking something, looking on and on, is the Chetana, the Kamma, which is not the level of akusala Kamma, but it's akusala Chitta. Is that right?
nghiệp nghiệp đạo.
So there is kusala Chitta and there is also kusala Kamma. There is akusala Chetana and also akusala Kamma. That's why we learn a little more about different degrees of each reality. No one there at all, even now or any time. A little clear understanding, firm understanding of the difference between each reality. So now, not forget, Chetana is there each moment, depending on what level it is. And it's time now. สวัสดีค่ะ